I'm here at Oakland, California at the well-known boxing facility called King's Gym, and I'm speaking with undefeated 15-0 middleweight, soon-to-be contender Brandon "Flawless" Gonzales. Brandon, who is from nearby Sacramento, will be appearing on the undercard of stablemate Mike Dallas Jr.'s headline bout at the Soboba Casino in San Jacinto, California on Friday Night Fights this coming weekend. Brandon, thanks for taking time out from your training regimen to speak with me.
Thanks for having me.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but you've appeared on ESPN2 before, haven't you? Or no, we talked about that, and you haven't been on ESPN2, but you have been on Showtime. Now you're up against a fighter in Elie Agustama, who after a 4-fight losing streak is coming off a decent win against a solid fighter in Daniel Livingston. Even though Agustama doesn't have extensive experience, it's nevertheless opponents like these who are sometimes more dangerous than undefeated fighters in that guys with losses have been tested at times. Along with that, Agustama's 6-4 record might lead you to believe that you've been in with better competition, therefore you might take him lightly. In that regard, what's your mindset going into this bout?
You know, just that records can be very deceiving. You know, obviously he's a young kid, he's hungry, he's got an opportunity, and he's going to try to take full advantage. And our job is to make sure that doesn't happen come this Friday.
Now, on the other side of the coin, Agustama has all of a 30% knockout ratio, and you yourself haven't been fought in a while. So in effect, will you try to get some rounds in if you feel like you got the situation in hand?
I mean, if the opportunity presents itself to finish the fight, you know, you're going to finish the fight. You can get the rounds in the gym, you can get the rounds in the next fight. So we're just moving forward. We're going to stick to the game plan. And, you know, if the knockout comes and we get to go home early, I'm all for that.
Right. What should we be looking for once the bell rings Friday night?
Just more development. You know, this is my second fight with Virgil Hunter. We're starting to mesh real well. Camp came together real well for this fight. And we're just going to continue to develop on the things we've been working on. Boxing, sticking to the game plan, and staying focused inside the ring.
You got a late start in boxing to enter the amateur ranks at 19 years of age, is that correct?
Yeah.
Being that's the case, are you driven to succeed, or do you feel like you're up against time?
You know, kind of both. Driven to succeed, definitely, and you know, I'm not getting any younger. You got a small window in this sport, so you want to capitalize the short time period that all fighters do have, including myself. So we're full steam ahead at this point. New promoter, new management, and we're just building momentum each fight at a time.
Well, speaking of promoter, who are you being promoted by at this time?
Goose and Tudor.
Goose and Tudor.
Yeah.
All right, there you
and
go.
Antonio Leonard also.
That's who sent me down. I mentioned in my opening remarks soon-to-be contender, because since getting a late start in boxing, you stated that even though you're constantly referred to as a prospect, you consider yourself to be at the age of a contender. In your opinion and that of your team, how far away are you from significantly stepping up the competition in order to reach contender status?
You know, it's really a fight-by-fight basis. We're ready to step it up. I think the Oscar Durant fight was in a good direction. You know, he's a credible opponent, and I don't see him getting any easier from here on out. Even the next opponent we have, I don't see him stepping back from where we started with when we first started on the Showbox card.
You've jumped from one trainer to another, and now you're working with Virgil Hunter. Were the changes in trainers due to limitations on their part, or are you just looking to fit in, or what's your take? What do you?
It was a logistical situation. I'm based out of Sacramento. I was training with Jeff Mayweather prior to that, and going to training camp for Vegas, it became costly, and being away from the family so far, that it just took its toll, and we had the opportunity to be a little closer. I've known Virgil for quite some time, working with Andre for years now, so we've always had that relationship, and the opportunity presented itself for us to work together, and I jumped on it.
Can you describe the chemistry between you and Virgil and how this relationship maybe has helped you to grow as a fighter?
I mean, it's growing every day. He's he's the type of trainer. He's no nonsense. He's upfront with you. He's honest with you, and that's what you need in your corner. You don't need a hype man. You need a trainer that's gonna not only educate you about the sport of boxing, teach you about the sport of boxing, but just guide you inside and outside the ring. So development's coming.
Of course, you've gotten some of the best sparring in the world with Andre Ward, who you sparred over many years, and his talents can push you to the limit. Have you in fact been sparring Andre in preparation for your upcoming bout, or who else have you brought in for sparring purposes?
Not for this camp. We didn't work together too much. You know, same guys at Up at King's Gym. Tony Hirsch, Ray Craig. A couple guys came out and traveled across the bridge. I'm not sure who they are, but they came out a few days. So we had excellent work for this fight.
You were a busy fighter in 2009 and 2010, but then there was an 8-month gap in between both of your 2011 fights where you decisioned Lester Gonzales and then Ozzy Duran. Even though you looked to be the more skillful boxer in the Duran fight, there was pockets where your defense wasn't all there, and you weren't always consistent letting your hands go all the time in that fight, so that a lot of people felt that the bout could have went the other way. Did 8 months out of the prize ring affect your performance then, and will it affect you this weekend? Will it affect you this weekend, seeing how you've been out 8 months, another 8 months with your torn hamstring?
I think consistency is always the key in any craft. You know, you want to do it day in and day out. And I think inconsistency has affected me a little bit. But you know, I've been in the gym, still working. So you know, at this point, we're just looking to stay consistent as possible, injury free. You know, doing a lot of things to prevent from getting re-injured and just staying busy.
So tell me, how is the hamstring, and are you 100% ready to go?
Yeah, we're ready to go. You know, I took I think it's about a total of 6 weeks off the hamstring completely, 3 weeks of rehab, and you know, it hasn't bothered me in this camp at all. You know, I'm able to sprint full speed at this point doing the sprint training, so it hasn't caused an issue at all during this camp.
Was that the first significant injury you've ever had in your career?
Yeah, I think so. I think it's the first time I've had to not compete because of an injury, amateur or pro. You know, if my memory serves me correct, that was the first time.
I wanted to ask you about your change of promoters, and I think I talked to you. You left Let's Get It On Promotions for Goose and Tudor sometime before the Duran fight, and I'm asking that because I thought it might have contributed to the 8-month layoff I mentioned. What's your take on that? Or
yeah, you know, that during that time was a transition period. I actually obtained a new manager, James Prince, and you know, being under his guidance, he advised me, you know, to Goose and Tudor was a good direction to move in, and you know, that's what we did.
So how confident are you, you know, being with Goose and Tudor and James Prince? How confident are you that you'll reach your ultimate goals?
I think it's you know, one of the best teams in boxing. You know, I think you know, the path is set. You know, all I have to do is come deliver, and it starts with Friday night. You know, I have full confidence in my team, and I think it goes to show the first time out with them. You know, we were able to get exposure on a big card like Showtime.
Okay, I noticed you mentioned that Sugar Ray Leonard, Muhammad Ali, and Sugar Ray Robinson are among your favorite boxers to watch. That's top-notch company. What do you take from these fighters in terms of skill, or are there some things that they did in the ring that you try to emulate?
You know, along with the physical tools they possess, I think it's the intangibles that they also show. You know, times of adversity, you know, determination. You know, those things. You know, the drive that they all had to be champions and stay successful for so long and reign in their weight class and taking on toughest competition. You know, that plus, you know, the physical tools they had, the speed, the coordination, the boxing skills, and things of that nature. You know, they're a total package inside the ring.
You once said that your toughest opponent is the man in the mirror. How tough is that man? And after all is said and done with your boxing career, where's that man going to be?
You know, hopefully, you know, we'll be in a good situation. You know, look for boxing to provide for my family financially. You know, have them set for the future, my children as well. So, you know, hopefully, you know, he's doing good at this point. You know, I'm in a good place. Got a good support team inside and outside the ring. So, you know, I feel extremely confident moving forward. The future looks very bright.
You're a fighter, and in a sense, you're still fighting for some exposure, although you were featured on Showbox not long ago. In reaching out to many viewers through this interview, before your next appearance Friday, what would you like prospective boxing fans to know about Brandon Gonzales, not only as a fighter, but as a human being?
You know, just tune in. You know, I'm a good ambassador for the sport, you know, and, you know, I look forward to Friday night, and it's definitely going to be a great show. You know, it's great exposure. You know, a lot of people get to see ESPN, and you know, I'm extremely excited to move forward and get back in the ring.
Speaking of looking forward, I'm looking forward to seeing your fight. I'll be down there covering it. Good luck, and thanks for your time for this interview.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
You're welcome.